So there are a couple of very disturbing questions. Is there a direct link between this audio clip surfacing and the spike of terror in Jammu and Kashmir? Is Pakistan upping the ante once again through this Maulana of terror? And most important, what are options for India now? Joining me on India First is Ujjwal Nikam, a very well-respected senior public prosecutor in the 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks case, someone who's dealt extensively with Pakistan's state-sponsored radical Islamist terror. Mona Alam is a senior journalist in Pakistan and a television news anchor. My first question is to India Today's OSINT team lead, Ankit Kumar. Ankit, is this confirmed, and is there a confirmed timestamp on the timing of this audio clip and a voice match with that Maulana of terror, Masood Azhar?
That's a very important question, Gaurav. The first question was whether it was Masood Azhar himself. So what we did in this case was to utilize open source tools that are usually used in natural language processing and machine learning tools. We utilize a Python-based service in this particular case. Okay. We already had a verified audio clip from Azhar back from February 2019. We compared the voice sample with the recently distributed clip. You know, JEM's social media team is a bit notorious. What they do is they don't release a lot of videos and they keep recycling a lot of old audio clips. So it was important to also compare whether the clip belonged to Azhar or also if the audio clip was new or a recycled one. So we looked at the metadata. What happened was we could actually tell when this recording was done, which device was used, which software was used, how many times it was edited, in which time zone, GMT plus 5, it was edited, it was uploaded on internet. GMT plus 5 is again Pakistan's time zone. So we can now independently verify that A, it belonged to Masood Azhar. We had a near perfect match. And again, the clip was recorded on June 27, uploaded on June 29. So very recent, that matches with the recent, the recent revived terror incidents in Jammu.
Stay with me for a moment. I also want to bring Ujjwal Nikam and Mona Alam into this conversation. Mr. Nikam, does this once again expose Pakistan and its false claims that Masood Azhar is dead? Pakistan's been repeatedly peddling all sorts of manufactured reports on Masood Azhar, claiming he's either dead or he's in Afghanistan, where even the Taliban have called out Pakistan, saying he's not in Afghanistan, he is in Pakistan.
Gaurav, frankly speaking, at present, we have the voice sample.
Yes.
There is one scientific test that is called as a spectrographic test, by which one can assess and can arrive at a conclusion that a particular voice is of the same person or not. Now, at present, we don't have the original voice of Masood Azhar, but if we have an authenticate voice recording of Masood Azhar in a speech which he had delivered in the marriage time, and the second speech which he was encouraging the other people and provoking certain fidains, then certainly that voice also can be matched. But moot question is that whether at present he has been really seen in Pakistan. If answer is yes, then certainly it is for the United Nations Security Council to take immediate steps, because he has been declared as a global terrorist.
Yes.
Not only he is indulging in the terrorist activities in India, but also in many other countries also. So I think all the countries wherein the Masood Azhar, Jaish-e-Mohammad has committed terrorist act, they should also collect the evidence, and they should also, so it is the moral responsibility of all the countries to find out. Because the Pakistan is already in the denial mood. Pakistan is bound to say, no, we don't have the missile, we don't have the Masood Azhar, we don't know where he had gained.
No, that very important point that you raised, Ujjwal Nikam Saab, was will Pakistan provide voice sample? And, Mona Alam, India's unfortunate, relationship with Pakistan, unfortunately the situation has been such that even in 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks, Pakistan refused to provide voice samples of terrorists, even though there were several recordings, and Mr. Nikam can tell us more. Masood Azhar is a UN designated global terrorist, Mona. Jaish-e-Mohammad is a UN designated banned terrorist organization, and yet it appears Masood Azhar is preparing fresh batch of terrorists to target India. Will Pakistan provide voice samples, Mona, in your appreciation?
Thank you, Gaurav. I think if these allegations have come up again towards Pakistan from India, then I think, okay, you can take up the case in the UN Security Council. If you think that there are evidences and they are strong enough to present a case internationally against Pakistan, then obviously India as a country can do that. And Pakistan obviously as a sovereign country can contest its own case. Because FATF as well, all of us are aware that how India had lobbied and openly lobbied against Pakistan in the FATF, but thankfully and to Pakistan's own credit, Pakistan has been cleared from the FATF, and now the sword, as per many reports, was hanging on India as per the latest reports that were there in the FATF.
Okay, and so I don't want to make this an India-Pakistan blame game, Mona, because, you claim your country suffers terrorism, you claim your government is mounting operations against terrorists, and yet, a country which is on the verge of bankruptcy, a country which is actually suffering, refuses to take action against organizations like Lashkar-e-Taiba and Jaish-e-Mohammad. Why would that be, Mona? I don't want to make this into an India-Pakistan blame game, because I personally believe that asking Pakistan is wasting time and India should just neutralize these terrorists whichever way possible. But go on, ma'am, please respond.
But Gaurav, you see, this is not how sovereign countries behave, and this is not how sovereign countries should behave, because just recently we've all covered how certain people were assassinated here in Pakistan, and those assassins were from India. And
no, there is no evidence. I'm sorry. There is no evidence they are from India. There is nothing except claims.
One of your past ministers has been boasting about Andar Ghus ke Marna just before your BJP's electoral campaign, because this is something which has happened pretty recently. So I don't think there's a denial on this that has come in from India officially. Rather, I think there's a subvert acceptance of these assassinations, multiple assassinations that has happened in Pakistan, and I think a dossier has to be presented to India on the matter. We've formally taken this up with
Pakistan will present a dossier to India that terrorists have been killed in Pakistan. Ujjwal Nikam, this country is a banana republic. It's a basket case. I don't even know why we have dealings with a terrorist state, that Pakistani journalists, and I'm so sorry to even suggest this, that they want to present a dossier that terrorists have been killed in their country and they're blaming their neighbor. And it's just so bizarre, Mr. Nikam. Only Mr. Nikam for the moment.
India's right, Gaurav? Please let me just, I beg your pardon. What is India's right to, carry out assassinations?
Mona.
No, it is not India. It is United Nations. United Nations has designated Masood Azhar a terrorist. I know he's a very well-respected Maulana in your country. Hafiz Saeed is a very well-respected Maulana in your country. They are UN-designated terrorists.
Respected, they would have been in public domain. They're nowhere in the public domain. I do not know, as a matter of fact, as a resident of Pakistan, where
I'll tell you why. Because you wear blinkers. Journalists in Pakistan are like those horses with blinkers. This joker, Masood Azhar, Hafiz Saeed, was leading the Eid namaz at the Gaddafi Stadium in Lahore. And Ujjwal Nikam will tell you, full public view, he led Eid namaz at Gaddafi Stadium. Ujjwal Nikam sahab.
Mona, I would like to ask you one simple question. I had been to Islamabad after the Kasab's execution. Then I had a long discussion with the Home Ministry of the Pakistan officials. And it's a government of India's official delegation. I was one of the 4 members. I was talking with the Pakistani authority as to why you are not prosecuting seriously the perpetrators of the terror attack of 26 November. And from Pakistan side, we have been replied that there is no evidence. Then I have examined David Headley through video link in Mumbai court, and we have marshaled the evidence and we have handed the entire evidence to the Pakistani authority. What happened? Till now we don't know. What happens about the key conspirator against whom the Pakistan is making show that we are conducting that trial.
Okay.
That trial is not yet over. You have not, you see, arrested the Hafiz Saeed Zakir. Mona, just listen to me. You are a responsible citizen of Pakistan. I am a responsible citizen of India. We don't have the mutual fight, but just kindly listen to why the Pakistani authorities are protecting terrorists and why they are
Mona, please respond, madam.
to provoke such militants against the India.
Please respond, ma'am.
Sir, I'm very happy to give you a fair hearing, but I expect the same in reciprocation too. Look, there are concerns on terrorism from either side. There are concerns from Pakistan's end as well. There are concerns from Indian end as well. You're quoting us incidents. 26/11 was the most unfortunate incident that we've seen in recent history. But I say this with a lot of sensitivity on the matter, that it is an old incident. I mean, I am quoting you assassination.
Madam, Pulwama happened in 2019. India permitted, before that when Pathankot happened, happened, India permitted ISI team to come and investigate this same Maulana of terror, Masood Azhar. But you took no action against him.
Incidents like Pathankot, these are the incidents which in Pakistan's appreciation were false flag. And they were done only to jeopardize talks between India and Pakistan, because these concerns.
That is exactly why I wanted. All these people in our country who want Aman ki Asha with a terrorist state like Pakistan, that is exactly why you should hear Pakistanis and how they spew lies, venom, and hatred on television. Because Mona, I'm very disappointed. Pathankot ISI investigated, FIR was registered. 26/11 FIA investigated, Federal Investigation Agency of Pakistan, and you did not take, your country did not take any action against any of the accused, which is such a shame. You know, Mona, you may say it is an old incident, but it's a fresh wound in our minds and our hearts. It's a fresh wound, because 166 people were killed. 10 Pakistani terrorists came, and your country has taken no action. And I want everybody who wants India-Pakistan cricket and their cinema and their film actors to come to our country to know.
I think these matters.
You want medicines from a country, you want food from a country, you want fuel from a country, and you people kill our countrymen. It's such a shame. But I want to bring in Ankit once again. I mean, Pakistan deserves the penury and mess it is in. It is such a shame. But Ankit Kumar, what are the implications of this audio tape? What are the implications? Is there a direct link with this audio clip that's circulating on the dark web and the recent spike of terrorism south of Pir Panjal?
Well, the repercussions are obvious. We are expecting assembly polls. We are expecting polls in Jammu and Kashmir. This is important because the last public appearance made by Masood Azhar was back in February 2019. Then Balakot happened, and then what we know is that Masood Azhar took refuge in Peshawar at a safe house where an incident happened. He escaped the explosion, but after that he did not make any public appearance. That's what led to these speculations around his death, around his health, etc. Now we know that he's alive, but the fact that he has decided to make a public appearance, knowing that this will be discovered, this was essentially distributed by Jaish-e-Mohammad themselves. Yes. It clearly shows that Azhar now has got a go-ahead by the Pakistani establishment to go out and send this message. This matches with the timeline of recent terror attacks in Jammu, and the upcoming elections in Jammu and Kashmir probably is going to be Jaish-e-Mohammad's next target. That's what this is all building up to. So for security agencies, for intelligence agencies, for Indian diplomatic community, Pakistan escaped FATF's grey list some time back. Earlier this week, Pakistan not received, but in fact agreed to a bailout package, US dollars 7 billion worth bailout package from the IMF. So all these things, all these things will come to play. India will look to put diplomatic pressure, but security agencies are rightly concerned about Pakistan-based terror outfits, these old terrorists, Masood Azhar and Saeed, etc., now resurfacing, making public appearances just before the upcoming
I have the
election.
last 30 seconds on this part of the show, and Mr. Nikam, the last 30 seconds that I have, is there a legal option for India to take? Because sending dossiers to Pakistan doesn't work. It didn't work in 26/11. Calling ISI to Pathankot didn't work after Pathankot. Is Balakot the only language that terrorist state Pakistan understands?
Now, there is only one legal option, that our agencies will require to collect some evidence and will require to produce before the Security Council, United Nations Security Council. Because already he has been declared the global terrorist, India must launch immediate protest, because this is the open provocation by Masood Azhar, and if he's delivering the speech in the marriage party, then certainly this is a very serious thing for us. Government of India should not take it very lightly. Government of India, through intelligence agencies, should confirm and should collect the evidence so that further legal action can be taken against it.
Fair enough. Mona, I sincerely hope your country for once will behave in a civilized manner and take action against UN-designated global terrorists. I'm sadly run out of time on this part of the show, Mona, but hopefully if you have something more than rhetoric, you're most welcome on my show as we track this story over the next several days.